Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers. Big eyes.
Big guys? Yeah, there was a lot of big guys in that movie.
Totally said big eyes.
Oh, yeah, those two. Welcome to Shitty Movie Review, Alita edition.
So, to preface this, I haven't read the manga it's based on, but I'm probably going to now.
Yeah, the short and sweet of my review of it is went in there expecting 89% fail, came out with 100% success. It was very good.
Yeah.
100's a bit much, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there's not a whole lot in there that I can really trash. Like, honestly, even the shitty love story in it, which wasn't the best, it felt appropriate.
Yeah, it made sense with the way the story was told.
And the type of story it was.
Yeah, and the type of story. I felt like it was a little weird, I guess, the emphasis on the sport.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so one thing did bug me a little bit about that was the scrimmage that she plays in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Is absolutely nothing like the way it plays in the professional league or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a race where you try to get a ball so that you can, I don't know. They never actually showed how the professionals dunk it or whatever.
Yeah, you don't see it.
Whereas the scrimmage is basically, they're all just kind of rollerblading around, grabbing the ball and beating the shit out of each other.
I think the skirmish in the earlier part of the movie is kind of the same style as the free-for-all that she's put in when she goes for the tryouts. It's everyone against everyone. There's no team.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the team aspect at all.
So
I just mean it's not like there's not a race thing to it. It's just grab the ball, put it in the
thing.
Right.
Somehow. Maybe.
Right.
But yeah, I don't really have a lot I can say bad about the movie. I mean, like early on, her very large eyes were a little bit of a distraction, but as the movie went on, I just kind of stopped noticing it.
They were more of an issue in the slower parts, like the whole like love scenes and stuff like that, because they clearly put an emphasis on them being bigger than.
Yeah.
Which those parts don't really take. Like, there's a few moments in the beginning, but most of it is kind of middle.
Yeah.
So it's like I felt more uncomfortable with her eyes by the end of the movie than I did in the beginning of the movie, which is I kind of expected it to go the other way, like it did for you.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the more angry she got, the bigger her eyes got too.
Yeah. I did love the you can have my heart.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, like that was a really awkward scene, but they broke it up nice at the end where she's like, that was really intense, wasn't it? And it was just like, he's like, yeah, that was.
That was yeah. Let's
and it
not
was
do
like,
that again.
Okay, like at least they made her character self-aware enough to go, well, that was weird.
Yeah. Like, that was...
Because she wasn't, and it was because she wasn't used to feeling feelings like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even in her past life, so to speak, I don't think she really did.
Can a human love a cyborg? Why?
Why? Does a cyborg love a human?
That was dad.
Yeah. That was one thing that kind of bugged me, to be honest, is they made her very much a teenager, like mentality-wise.
Yeah.
And she was much older than that.
Yeah, like he describes, her brain is effectively a young adult's.
Oh, was it? I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Was that in the beginning?
Yeah.
There was a few parts where I didn't quite get all the audio.
He says teenager, and then the lady who's helping him later on remarks, I think she might be a little older than you thought she was.
Oh, because the body thing that
Yeah.
Her self-image, whatever.
Yeah. So it just I really enjoyed the movie. I did.
All right, so let's break it down a little bit. Visually, other than the eyes, the way they did the mechanics, the movement, because there's a lot of CG going on in here.
Yeah.
And, out of necessity, obviously. But like everything seemed to be spot on.
Yeah.
Like all of the joints moved as you would expect them to, except for when they made it obvious that they don't.
Yeah.
Like the way they twist and turn, they show it realistically enough that your brain doesn't go, something's not right here.
Yeah.
Feels weird. Like honestly, like some of the Transformers movies are like, where did the rest of him go, or something like that.
There's a chunk of him missing.
This didn't have that. It had a very good spatial awareness to what was going on with the bodies and everything, which I thought was pretty impressive, honestly, for something like this. And also on that note, I really liked that it was kind of like a realistic cyberpunk future.
Yeah. Visually, I think I actually preferred the first body she has because of the etch work.
Oh yeah, that's because he handmade that for his daughter.
Yeah,
like
I think
that's why it had that detail to it.
It looked better, I think, when she was just in regular clothes than the.
Honestly, I really liked after she got the new body, like the clothing she wore with it and how it would match.
The clothing she wore with it was good.
Really good. Especially the leather suit thing that's towards the end.
Yeah,
looks good.
The actual armor she's wearing at the very end when she goes out onto the stage.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I really like that.
I like that, and it matched the style of her under exoskeleton.
Her Under Armour.
Not a sponsor.
Nope. But it had some of the flaws that you usually complain about, I guess.
Like what?
You could guess what was going to happen.
Story wise, yeah. I was sticking with visual because there was.
Visually, it was.
There's a few other things I wanted to say about that.
I don't really have any arguments about the visually, except for maybe the weird hybrid fur metal dogs. I mean, they looked good.
I'll be honest. The dog with the mohawk was fucking cool.
They looked cool.
Who was that guy? He looks so familiar.
I don't know. He did though. I don't know.
All right. The guy with the dogs. There's something very familiar about his face, but I couldn't place it.
His face and his voice.
Oh, he only spoke like briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like. Pretty Boy's armor body. I thought they did a really good job because you can kind of see the inner workings of it and everything.
Oh yeah.
I thought they did a really good job with, again, keeping it consistent.
I was like, yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Oh. I was very uncomfortable by that.
Well, I think that was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I've only said yeah, man, like 30 times in this episode already. We're 9 minutes in.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So we want to go on to the story beats and that. Yeah, it was very predictable, but it executed well. So like that's not as much of an issue. My problem with that is mainly when it becomes it's predictable and like nothing is interesting about it being predictable. Not even necessarily the execution there. This kept it interesting.
Yeah.
Like the character designs. That's what I was trying to say about the visuals. The characters in that kept it interesting because you never knew what you were going to see next, kind of, for some of the things.
Yeah.
Especially the people playing motorball. which was really interesting because it's like clearly a game based off of oh fuck, what's that one that Derby?
Roller derby.
Roller Derby, yeah. It was clearly based off of that conceptually, and I thought it was a really good thing. Execution was pretty solid on the story and everything, in my opinion. The love story could have been better.
Yeah, but
it wasn't so bad that it really took much away from anything else in the story.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be there in the sequel.
I hope we get a sequel. I want to see.
It's James Cameron. We're going to get a sequel.
Still waiting on those other ones.
2, 3, and 4. I think he filmed at the same time for Avatar.
Filming, I believe.
No, I think he's done.
Oh, finally.
That's why he did this.
Okay. Well, he's producing this. He wasn't the director. There's a big difference there. Like that means he has
it had his
basically
name attached though, so there will be a sequel.
He put his money on it and probably put some creative input on it. But he wasn't actually telling them, the day to day do this, this, that. Probably.
He was probably there at least some though.
Oh yeah,
because
some producers are like that.
Yeah,
depends on
I think Steven Spielberg is like that sometimes.
Well, I mean, I think with Spielberg and probably Cameron too, there's a difference between a pet project and something you're funding.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know what this would be for Cameron.
I don't know.
I lost my thought.
It was definitely a love.
The love story thing. No, actually, no, not the love story thing. The Edward Norton thing. I want to see him being taken down. Like I want to see the next stage, the upper city part of this. I want to see what goes on in there and how crazy that's going to be. Because I have no idea what to expect from that city.
Now, are you going to read the manga before they announce the potential sequel, or are you going to wait till you've seen all of the visuals and then read it?
I'm lazy. You know.
Yes.
You're lazy too.
Yeah.
You will probably read it before I will.
Yeah. Almost guaranteed.
The chances of me reading it before I see the next one, pretty slim. Depending on when it comes out. So, like, if we have... Oh, excuse me. If we have the next one come out year after next, say.
That's a little early, I think. But...
Dude, they pump out movies ridiculously fast now.
Yeah, I know.
Which is... As much as I might want to get into graphic design and stuff like that, don't ever let me work for a movie doing like CG or anything because fuck that. The pressure is probably extremely unreal on that. Especially when you have things like the Avengers and
it's probably right up there with working for a certain studio.
Disney.
I was gonna say EA.
Well, that's different pressure. That's you will fuck this up, or you will not keep your job. Pressure. That said, they briefly here, Apex looks really good. The gameplay looks really good. The balance has been praised.
I'm like,
the balance
Apex?
has been praised over
got it.
A lot of other things, and it's like you get to choose like It's like a mix between something like Overwatch or even League of Legends, where you get to choose your hero, and a battle royale, which seems really like I knew that was coming. I had that thought when I heard battle royales were getting popular. I was surprised it took so long, but it's being at least produced by EA.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will help their reputation a little bit. Because honestly, I don't hate EA. I hate everything EA's done recently. You get what I'm saying? Just like I'm not really a super fanboy of Bethesda because they've really fucked up a lot less recently. And I was like, yeah, this was going to happen. Hopefully they can get back on their feet about it.
Yeah.
And maybe stop retconning things for ESO just because they want to.
Well, I mean, ESO might be an alternate reality to the main Elder Scrolls games.
That's fair. I mean, with it being an MMO, it's harder to take a look at it, in my opinion, the same way you would look at the Elder Scrolls games. But I don't necessarily want to get in this conversation right now. There's a lot of bashing that will happen about my expectations for ES6 and 76 and some other things. So let's go back to Alita.
Something we can actually just praise.
It's yeah, like like as much as I trashed on Ready Player One, I didn't have as much of that issue here.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I enjoyed Ready Player One.
Ready Player One is literally, as you described it, nostalgia the movie.
It is, and like, and even the storyline, like, I guess we're talking about this now. Even the storyline of Ready Player One was very 80s, heartfelt. The kids did the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
stuff, which was more
Coming
nostalgia
of age movie.
It wasn't. There you go. It wasn't like. Which I mean,
Alita,
like that was commitment to what it was. That like,
yeah,
that's not a bad thing. I like those types of 80s movies.
Alita was kind of a coming of age.
It was, only she was like over 300 years old.
Yeah, but I think it fits into the coming of age category because of the fact that she was young at heart still and effectively, well,
you mean brain damage?
Young in the brain, and basically, instead of just being a warrior, what she was made to be in her last life, he tried to let her be something else.
Well, yeah, but that's because of his understanding of what the warriors were.
Yeah.
And I honestly, after seeing her flashbacks, I don't think that's all it was for them. Like the person, her mentor that was training her was like, you have the heart of a survivor. Like she was.
I have a feeling
they were talking to each other as people.
I have a feeling she will be back. I have a feeling Nova co-opted her somehow. I have
maybe that's why the city's still flying.
Maybe. Something about her.
It's very distinct character design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see again if there is a sequel.
Dude, fair, I would love to see those two duke it out.
Like I said, I haven't read the
much better than the big ugly dude that didn't seem like he was really on par with her. At like, he won a fight and still lost the fight with her.
Yeah, he did.
And I mean, and that was like, that was one of those moments where it was like, oh, this is where the hero fails or whatever. But at the same time, they did a little twist, so she kind of didn't. Because I was like, how is she going to get out of the situation, right? And then she had one limb.
One limb and
she had one limb and like no bottom half at all. And she was determined to win that fight, and because of some backup, did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty solid. Like that was good storytelling in my opinion, right there. With the way, because I was like, so she lifted up herself on her hand. I was like, okay, so she's going to jump, I guess is the word, with that hand. What is she going to do with that hand? That's really going to make a point. And then she shoved it all the way into the dude's face.
Yeah. She shoved
through
it
this eye hole.
deep.
Well, no. Wrist. It was wrist. It broke off at her wrist.
Yeah, okay.
No, it because you can see her afterwards, and she has all the way up to her wrist.
About that much left on.
But it's her whole hand went in his eye socket.
Yeah,
and broke off at the end. So yeah, that was enjoyable. The action,
the fight scenes were so much fun.
They really were. It was like. Because it was really cool. Because it was like I want to see what she does next, type of thing. Like because it was her
walk into a bar.
Assessment.
I'm gonna walk in this bar,
and she's gonna give the JRPG speech,
and everyone laughed. Well,
almost everyone laughed.
Everyone laughed,
and then she showed them why they should follow her,
and
they still didn't.
The one guy at least tried to help a little.
Well, that's because they killed her dog.
Yeah, they killed
and he apparently loves dogs.
Yeah, he's a dog guy.
I mean, that's fine. but I think the best part was during the middle of that bar fight, Doc walks in and he goes, "Stop, or there's no more free repairs," and everybody stops.
Done. That fight was over.
Yeah, that was really good. But yeah, man, like her movements, like I mentioned this on the character design stuff, though. It was not just her. Everybody's movements made sense. The choreography of this, fantastic. seeing her use her environment in just like as a natural thing to her, not like one of the things I did like about the Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Where he's like taking assessment of everything and you see like the calculations in his head.
Yeah.
Like he still has that moment of taking that in, even if he's doing while he's doing that.
Yeah.
With her, it was just like second nature.
Going.
Just do. Like the first fight she has in her soft body, so to speak, compared to the one she gets later.
The Berserker.
With the blade arm chick.
Yeah.
Where that fight goes from Lita surviving to it's done, she won.
Yeah.
Was literally one jump. Like she got away from her and then she got right back at her.
Yep.
And that's just like, yeah, the choreography was very impressive.
Yeah, my favorite part as far as the choreography goes was right after she got the Berserker body.
What part exactly?
When it's showing, like she's showing how fluid she is, and she one finger. I was like, okay, I'm
because you know that things can't be like.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. I think my favorite, like, her showing her raw ability was something you mentioned when Pretty Boy grabbed her by the throat, and she was like, with like just in one solid fluid moment, her hand is up, you see it on his neck, and then his face is in the table.
Yeah,
and it was just like, it was just like,
oh,
I've never considered that before. Like if this was if this was a counterattack in verbal speak,
yeah,
like, oh, I had never considered that before.
What could I possibly learn from someone who spends all of his money on his face? Well, I could do blah da 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 da. You'd mess up your hair.
Yeah. Yeah, she went from innocent sounding girl to savage shit talker very quickly.
Yeah. There's no break there. It's Zeke.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where. I know where the story's going. Like,
yeah, up.
I know where the story's going, and I know that yes, she's going to get Nova. Like, it's gonna happen. I don't know the between.
Oh yeah, the next step is the most interesting to me because they've already ended the romance.
Yeah,
story.
This is all revenge now.
Well, I think it's more than just revenge. Like this, there's good reasons she's doing what she's doing too.
Yeah,
this dude is basically subjugated everybody.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's a lot of her motive. It was her motivation to begin with, and now she's one of the people he's affected.
Yeah.
So it went from I'm helping other people to I'm helping other people, and you made this shit personal.
Yeah, you made this personal. He could have just left it alone.
Right, she was talking him to go back into the city. If Nova had not sent the defense ring down, it would probably not have to worry about it.
Yeah, he would have. There would have been nothing there. But I think he wanted to see how far he could push her.
I don't know. I don't think that he needed to know that dude wasn't going to talk her into going up.
Oh, he talked her.
And you know what was most impressive about that is dude with the shoddy body almost made that jump.
Yeah,
and the arms didn't even try.
Yeah. Like,
I thought there was something in those bullets because it broke that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm also interested in seeing more of her past. I don't think there's much more to be seen there, which makes me interested in what they'll do for those cutaways because it's going it's going to be there.
Yeah, there's going to be
because they gave us pretty much enough of her past where we understand her.
Yeah.
So to give us more would be like, why? The only stuff I could really think of is if it's stuff dealing with Nova.
Yeah, dealing with
like
Nova.
her remembering like the debriefings about him or something like that.
The reason they were sent to
Right. The
kill
other
him.
terrible things he's done. Because remember, we didn't see her end up in the trash pile.
Nope. He just finds her.
Well, no, what I mean is in the flashbacks.
Yeah. You don't see what happens between her and the other chick and
and the getting up there, which is probably
the rest of the getting up there, the however long they were in the city. And then, because she was at the top of the pile, or
yeah, that was more for
if it's
story
been-
reasons for him to find her.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Logically, she should have been probably very buried.
Very buried, yeah. But, I mean, it's just... I don't know.
Any other aspects you want to talk about? We did.
Go see it.
Yes, you know what? That's how we should end these. Our stamp of approval or disapproval. We're pretty lenient on this kind of stuff, so most of them are going to be go see it.
Yeah, most of
Because
it.
even my Ready Player One's a go see it. I didn't hate the movie. I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I expected to.
Yeah. I went in with really no expectation, except for the terrible track record most adaptations from an anime or a manga or a video game have been.
Yeah, that's fair. I think one of my favorite parts is at least the first trailer, because that was the only one I watched, didn't touch on anything that happens later in the story.
Yeah.
So I still had everything had already happened from the trailer, and I was like, oh, cool. The rest is a huge question mark. I have no scenes that need to play out now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a go see it.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.